Welcome, Mage. I'm Rhino, and today we are going to be finally doing our Innistrad Midnight Hunt pre-release.
So we got two pre-release kits. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open them up, and we'll go through and we'll show you how we sort these things out, how we do it, and that's about it. We'll go ahead and build our decks, and then in a bit we'll battle them and see which one's best. So we're a couple weeks late on this for various reasons, but we're going to try to do the full pre-release feel. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we've got this. I got an unnatural. Ooh, there's a pack. There's more than one card in here. We didn't know this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and open up mine. I got an unnatural growth.
You got a Sigarda's Splendor.
Splendor. Go ahead and open it up. Let's see what we got. And okay, so we got a day and night token and three flip cards. Okay, so that makes sense. The divider and time to get sorting. So the way we generally do this is we sort by color and rarity at the same time. The color is important because we are trying to figure out okay. The color is important because you need to figure out, what you have the most of. Most of the time, you've got a reasonable number of cards, and then rarity helps you quickly determine which cards are generally considered more powerful. So I've got, all right, we'll put our black rare there, and I got the forest and day and night tokens. Yay! So as you can see, when I open this up, and yeah, I'm not overly close here. Let's see. Let's give me a little bit more space. All right. So all my commons are down here. Commons do almost all your work in the game. Your uncommons and your rares are kind of end up being your bombs. Your win conditions. So zombie token and all right. And yes, I always do this in color order. Rhino doesn't necessarily do it in color order because he's a maverick. Right. Deserted beach. And wheat. Plains and bear. Got a couple bears. So right now it looks like I have more white and blue, but that will probably change as we get through the rest of the packs. And by the way, these are the only draft boosters we've been able to find is pre-release kits. We can't buy a draft booster box at any local game store that we go to.
Yep.
They just don't have them.
They evaporated.
Yeah, they have nothing but set boosters.
Brombies.
Zombies.
Oh, this. Where do you put the colorless?
Onto the end.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I've got 2 green rares. So yeah, I don't want it to seem like you pick the colors with that you have the rares, but a lot of times that ends up being the case. And both Rhino and Speedy have won a great many pre-release or sealed battles, and just seems to work that way.
Ooh, I got an invoking wild.
Very important in a sealed or in a pre-release.
Yeah.
If you can get Evolving Wilds, that is one of the best fetch lands.
That's basically a mythic rare.
Yeah. It's one of the best fetch lands that you can have in a sealed or a draft.
Definitely going in my deck.
Okay. Alrighty. So, while Rhino continues to sort, I'm looking at mine, and my rares are the Galvanic iteration. So that's an Izzet. That is blue and red. I don't know if I have enough blue. I seem to have enough red, so that might be a possibility. These are uncommons. I've got a Gruul, an Azorius, a Simic, and a Selesnya. So we'll just see if any of those combinations come up, and if not, we'll put it in. Since I have an Unnatural Growth, which is a really, really cool card, especially if you are heavy green. I don't know that this will come up easily in a pre-release or in a sealed. But I have a legendary creature, Sereth, the Viper's Fang, the human warlock, and other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. That is very powerful. In pre-releases, creatures win games. A lot of times you're not going for any funky changes or anything like that. Any combos. My rare here is a aura. I've got a legendary artifact in black, which gives you flying and lifelink, and plus I have an instant in black. Just based off of the rares, it looks like I'm going to be going Golgari, which is black and green. And I have a creature here which is a zombie bear with trample. That looks like that might be a possibility. So now I look through the uncommons. I do not have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 11 whites. And let's see here. I'm trying to see if I've got enough creatures in white for white to work. So I barely enough. So just doing the counts, that's what I'm what I'm coming up with. No, no. Let's see here. I got enough creatures in blue. My black is a little low. No, it isn't. My black is fine on creatures. And plus, I've got a lot of options for removal, which is very important. Let's see what we got in red. Red looks like it has enough. This might be a little harder than I thought. A lot of times the decks they almost make themselves. Let's see here. I've got little low on creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I got just enough. What's that? Looking at what I have, I'm even though I have this Demir land over here, I could conceivably go almost any combination. But since I've got Sarith and lots of removal capabilities, I think I'm going to go Golgari on this.
Mythic. Mythic.
Yeah, which one? It is Puppet Stitcher, Human Wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Cool. So now that we're sorted, we'll probably go ahead and build our decks and come right back and show you what we've got in our decks.
Yeah. These are the decks that we built.
Okay, so we've got it on the screen over here, which is fine for me looking this way, but Rhino has to look the opposite direction in order to see this. So, Rhino, what is it about your deck here?
This is mainly focused around creatures.
Okay, so you got 19 creatures, and it looks like you got a lot of low, quick creatures, too.
Yeah.
You pick Boros.
And and there's some 1-drops in here. This deck is designed to go quicker.
Okay. Looks like you have mostly humans in this deck.
Yes, I do.
And let's see here. What else you got as far as instants go?
I have the surprise lifelink. There's some lifelink, and Uh, there's a lot of surprise uh cards in here. There's Cigar Splendor. Uh, this is also technically lifelink. Uh, and
This is the main reason why you built the deck around white, I think.
yeah,
Okay, so let's switch over to my deck real quick. And so my deck is more of a standard mana curve sort of thing. I am favoring a little bit higher stuff because I'm looking for big stompy creatures. I don't have as many creatures in this deck, uh, but I, this was the main reason why I went with green, was because other tapped creatures you control have death touch. So that's going to be kind of cool when I'm swinging in. Uh, all my creatures have death touch. Uh, let's see. It's a mishmash. I didn't have a lot to choose from. Uh, but having the grizzly ghoul with trample, that's pretty neat. And then I've got a number of day night dual face cards, so they're a bunch of big guys. So I'm looking to you know get out some of these guys on turn 5 and win with bigger creatures. I have a lot more removal in this deck because didn't have a lot of creatures, but I do have some ability to, at least I think I have the ability to bring a creature back from the graveyard. Maybe not. Maybe I just make them big. Yeah, I think I just make them big. And I do have this interesting enchantment for werewolves or wolves to give them vigilance and big pluses. So that's the decks. We're going to get into the gameplay in just a moment. So we've already resolved mulligans, but we still need to find out who goes first. So spin to see who goes first. Looks like it'll be me. All right. Let's get our thing out of the way here. And so I'm in the pink sleeves. Rhino's in the black. My sleeves are a little bit shiny. So we're going to be going with standard rules. So I don't get to draw first. We're so used to playing Commander. we forget a lot of these things sometimes. But so I'm going to play a forest, and I am going to pass turn.
yeah, sure.
And
I will play a planes. I will tap one and play Lech our Lekar my veteran.
okay, let's find out who that is. That is okay. Whenever other creatures enter the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life, and it has Disturb. So you may cast this card from your graveyard for its Disturb cost. Okay. But then it comes in transformed. So 1/1 that gains you life. All right. My go. I am going to play a swamp, and I am going to cast the Timberland Guide. So Timberland Guide. Now, right here you can see that we are currently on day, so all of our creatures will be on day. Yeah, you can see the day there. All right, and so when it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature. You have the 1/1 counters over there. Hand me the bag real quick. And since I only have one target creature, I'm going to put it there. I'm not going to put it on yours. And I will pass turn. So I have a 2/2.
And draw. I will play a mountain. And I'm going to play a Vulcan Wrath per
Perforator?
perforator.
Okay. So when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to defending player. Okay. And you gain 1 life.
Yep.
Because a creature entered the battlefield. All right, you're at 21. Your deck is working already. All right, so we will fix that in the video, which is at, oh heck, I don't even see the time. That was 4 minutes in on that. So, okay, I untapped. Did I draw? I did not draw. I am playing a swamp.
Ooh.
And well, yeah, I don't have any good plays.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into combat. With 3 lands untapped.
I will block with.
So a 1/1 is going to block my 2/2.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any effects?
Nope.
All right, let's resolve damage. I do 2 to that. All right. And I will pass turn.
Oh, it becomes night. You didn't cast anything.
Yes, I didn't cast anything.
Draw.
I think this only works when there's a creature out that requires it. But that's fine.
I'll play a mountain. And where's the juice? I'm going to tap 2.
Bring that out. Disturbed, which is flipped. And it is flying. And whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, you gain 1 life. If would be put into the graveyard, exile instead. Okay, while that is still on the stack, I want to bloodline culling your creature, so it will die before this comes into play.
Oh.
Okay, so that resolves. This resolves.
Yeah. I will tap 2.
Tap 2. Tap 1.
I mean, tap 1, sorry. And play Falcon Wrath Pit Fighter.
Falcon Wrath Pit Fighter. So the Falcon Wrath Pit Fighter is a 1-drop, and it is a 2, discard a card, sacrifice a vampire, draw 2 cards. Activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. So it's pretty cool. But you need to have a bunch more vampires.
Yeah. And he got rid of my
Yeah.
vampire.
All right. So,
Go ahead.
all right, let's untap. Let's draw. All right, I've got 2 forests, 2 swamps. I am. I don't have any good plays. Yeah, I don't have any good plays. All right, I am. Okay, I'm going to go into combat. I'm going to swing for 2.
I'll take it.
Oh, okay. So you'll take the 2. There you go. 1, 2. All right. So now I'm going to cast Arrogant Outlaw. So the Arrogant Outlaw says when Arrogant Outlaw enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So you lose 2 more. 1, 2. And I gain 2. Alrighty. Pass turn.
That's kind of like Silver Cut, right?
Yeah.
Draw a
Oh,
card.
technically you had cast 2 that turn.
No, wait. So,
Yeah. You may cast it from the graveyard. So yeah, it's daytime. I think it doesn't matter until we have a creature out that needs it. That says daybound or nightbound. Actually, if you know, put it in the comments.
I'll play a mountain.
Okay.
And I'll tap 4. Play Sun Shriek Phoenix.
Pahonix. Shun Shriek Pahonix. Yes, it's a phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's flying, and if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day. So yeah. So now it becomes day.
Yeah.
As it enters the battlefield. When day becomes night or night becomes day, you may pay 2, 1 and a red, and if you do, return Sunshriek Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Yeah.
So you've got a flying 4/2 now.
Yeah.
All right.
And you have a
3/2 on the ground. A vampire that's arrogant.
I will go into combat.
Okay.
I will attack for
1 in the air.
In the air.
All righty. I will take the 1 in the air. Go down to 21.
No pass turn.
Okay. All right. I am going to untap, keep, and draw. I am going to play another swamp. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. That would be interesting. Um, Combat.
Sure.
Swinging for a total of 5.
5.
Yeah, 3-2 and a 2-2.
I'll actually take 5.
You'll take the 5. Oh, wow. So you're going to go down to 12?
Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm going to do. Uh, 5. I'm going to play whatever this thing is. Bloodline Collector. Yeah. Blood Tithe. Blood Tithe Collector. Okay. So it is a flying 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent discards a card.
Okay. I will discard.
Yeah, that's me. Hard and fast. Hard and fast. Let's do this.
A planes.
Up lanes. Okay. Well, I am going to pass turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Draw. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to uh 3 and play Cathar's Call
Cathar's Call. Okay.
on um up on Centrix.
Okay. So it has vigilance, and at the beginning of your instep, create a 1/1 white human creature token.
Um, I will pass turn.
Okay. I will untap
And 8.
a creature token. We'll do that, and we will put a 1 on it. 1/1.
Mm,
All right. I untap, draw. Uh, I'm going to cast the Burly Breaker. So the Burly Breaker has ward of 1, so it costs an extra 1 to target it, and it has Daybound. So it is a 6/5, and when it becomes Nightbound, it becomes an 8/7.
mm.
So,
I'm gonna keep making you keep opening it.
and I think I will pass turn as well.
Okay. Tap. Draw. I will. Um. Let's see. Hmm. going to play another point and I am it's hard because of that thing.
Yes, it's nice and big.
Oh no, I'm not worried about the big thing.
It's the flip thing, right?
Yeah.
You've got to cast something, otherwise it flips on my turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna. That's fine.
Yes, it does.
Go into combat.
Okay.
With just my 1/1 human.
Just your 1/1 human. So if I block it and it dies, you gain a life.
Yep.
If I don't block it, I take 1 and I go down to 20 and you have a tapped creature.
Mm-hmm.
You can use next turn. I'm going to block it with the Timberland guide.
4 damage.
Yeah.
1, 2. Flare of Faith.
Okay. Flare of Faith.
It gets +3/+3. And indestructible.
Okay.
So it is a 4/4.
It is a 4/4 killing this. Okay. And you successfully cast a whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield. This did not leave the battlefield.
Yeah, I thought it was any creature.
No.
Now that doesn't.
It doesn't flip. No, it doesn't.
And I will pass turn.
Okay. I am going to play a swamp. I've got 4 squishy lands and 2 forests.
Oh, I get another.
Hmm?
I get another.
Another human. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to actually cast something, believe it or not.
Oh.
I'm going to cast the Shady Trawler. And it has Menace. It is a 2/3. And it is Daybound. And I'll pass turn.
Okay.
Untap. So you have 2 1/1s.
And 2 1/1s. Draw. I'm going to tap 2 and play Mystic Skull.
Okay. Mystic Skull. So that is an artifact. And you can use that to filter mana, or you can transform it for 5, and it becomes a 5/6 creature.
Yeah. Uh, hmm. Do I want to? Yeah, I will attack with both of my humans.
Okay. I will block one human with my arrogant outlaw, and I will block the other human with the burly breaker.
Okay.
Okay. So
Good damage.
damage. All right, and you gain 2 life.
Yep. And at my end step.
You create another one. Okay. All right. So you got your lifelink thing going. That's respectable. All right. Untap. Let's see here. Combat.
Okay.
Just a flyer.
I'll take it.
Okay. You'll take the 3. Pass turn.
At your end step. I will play Cathar and Commando.
So
Normally I would do that for blocks, but
you wanted to cast it so these things wouldn't flip.
yeah.
Okay.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, it is. All right.
We'll untap. And draw. I will do 1, 2. I'll be. Actually, no, I don't want to do that just yet. I am going into combat. Attack.
I will block with Burly.
Okay. I'll gain a life.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, when I gain from the other two, when I gain another 2, so...
You did, but I did 3 damage to you.
Oh.
Okay. You've gone to your end step.
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
And I get
Okay, you put that down. And these flip.
sadly. I think it's at the end of your end step.
Well, no, it's because it's going to shift to night as we come in, and they bound. Yeah, if a player Okay. So these untap, these will flip. And I will draw.
As a ward of 3.
Hmm?
As a ward of 3.
Yep, it does. It's nice and big. And Sareth, the Viper's Fang.
And gonna cast anything else?
Nope, I'm going to go into combat.
Okay.
So you are currently at 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This has. I'm just going to go ahead and swing all out.
Okay. I'm not going to take it all.
Okay.
I will tap 5, flip this,
Okay.
and block.
Okay.
That.
Now you do realize that all my creatures have death touch. All my tapped creatures have death touch.
You do?
Yes, all my tapped creatures have death touch.
Okay.
This has menace.
I know. Mm. But I also gain a life for each creature.
Yeah.
Block that.
Okay.
And jump, block him.
Okay.
Take 3. You have something.
Well, you'll take the 3, gain 4. So out of this, you will basically have lost a whole bunch of creatures and gain 1 life.
Really?
Yes, because only 3 damage is coming through. These die. You've got 4 creatures that will die.
Oh, yeah.
So you will gain 1 life. Just wondering if I want to save this thing. But I don't think so. Now, so resolve damage.
Yeah.
We will.
And keep him.
Why? He died.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And this will die.
Oh, wait, no.
Okay. And I will pass turn.
But that died.
No. You had
I had a 5/6.
a 5/6. Oh, okay. This time. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking all I had to do was one damage to it, and it would die. But yeah, it didn't have first strike. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Your go. Oh, and you gain your life.
Draw. This is interesting.
You're going to be able to cast 2 spells to flip me back.
Maybe. Hmm. I'm going to 21.
So you're 13.
Go ahead. I get another one.
Yeah. I'll play a swamp.
What else can you do?
I can use it to untap another creature I control or land.
Other than oh, she is nasty.
Yeah. So,
She is rare to find.
yeah. Um, so combat.
Just him.
Yeah. 3 in the air.
Oh, in the air.
Uh-huh.
That's what bothers me.
Yes, it does.
I'll walk with some shriek.
Might of the Old Ways. So, Might of the Old Ways. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Coven. If you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, draw a card. Well, this now has a 5, an 8, and a 3.
Are you gonna cast anything else?
Nope. So that would die.
No matter what.
Yeah. But this was to save this, so you're 4 damage.
But I do gain a life.
Yes, you do gain 1 life. All right. Yes, I know what you can do. Pass turn.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to bring this back and it becomes day.
Okay. So it's going to become day. Also, I will go ahead and cast Blood Pact. And target player, myself, draws 2 cards. 1, 2. And I will lose 2 life. Okay. And okay.
Mhm.
Uh,
There's a whole bunch of
yeah.
stack.
Yeah. Okay. And it is daytime.
Oh. How long have I been asleep? 4 days.
Years and years.
Mm. Play.
That's not a creature.
I'm gonna play a planes. And I I'm going to I have flyers, so you have no flyers. I'm going to go into combat.
Okay.
Attack for 4. Mm.
Um,
Okay.
Resolve.
Yeah. Nothing yet. Oh, and I also get
You gain a life.
good.
Becomes night.
No.
Uh, Duress. Target opponent reveals their hand. And I can take a non-creature, non-land. So you've got a day or night. It becomes okay.
Do you get to take one?
No. I may choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and you discard it. So you still keep those.
No. So if I had an enchantment, then you would
Yeah.
enter.
Okay. Combat. Swinging for 8 plus 3.
And then be a total of 11.
Yep.
I'll
Jump block both of them.
jump up.
Okay. And you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
Okay. So those go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay. So Grizzly Ghoul. Grizzly Ghoul has trample. It enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each creature that died this turn. And Vampire Interloper. So the Vampire Interloper cannot block, but it does have flying. It's a 2/1 flyer. Pass turn.
Please. Should take that. And stop.
Yep.
But still gonna do it.
Okay. Comes out tapped.
Tapped. Becomes day. It's already day. And I'm going to one, two, let me see. Wait, how much did I tap?
You tap 2.
And
So you have a total of 4 that you can tap. Okay. So search search party captain.
yes, it's pretty captain.
Okay, so search party captain says this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you attacked with this turn. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card.
I can't cast that. No.
Okay.
And I will pass turn.
Okay. Well, combat. 2 in the air, 6 on the ground, 6 on the ground with trample.
Well, I have to take the flyer.
You got flying right there.
Yeah, but
And it would kill it too.
I would kill it, but they would trade.
They would trade and you would gain a life.
No, whenever.
And whenever another.
Oh, wait a second. I can block. Block that.
Okay.
There.
This has trample. So you're going to want to block that.
Yep.
Yeah, my tap creatures have death touch because of this. So, and this says, put it in the graveyard. Okay, whenever. Oh, no, it's another creature you control. So you would gain 1 from this. This goes into exile. And then you would. So basically, you only lose 5 because this is 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you lose 5. You go down to 12 there, and
That's it.
that's it. No other effects.
No other effects.
All right. So those will die. This will die. And this goes into exile.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wish with that.
pass turn.
Mm-hmm.
Got a whole bunch of untapped land over here.
Well, uh, I'm gonna make a day again.
That's fine. Cast 2 spells. Okay, actually, that is the Celestious
Real
Sanctifier. So if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your graveyard. Wait a second. It doesn't say. Dang it, right now it's night. I was thinking that it would swap it.
I thought so too.
Yeah. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as it enters the battlefield. So it is night, so that doesn't trigger. And whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your graveyard. So if you cast another spell, you get to do the second ability there because this will be swapped over to day.
One short.
One short.
Yeah.
All right.
I will.
Attack for 4 in the air.
Yeah. Sadly.
So that will take me down to 15.
Do I have any removal in here?
You have some tricks and things, but yeah, you don't have any major removal. You have some stuff in there that can deal direct damage, but I don't think you have enough to go beyond that.
Pass turn.
Okay.
Destroy target creature without flying.
Yeah, so it's defense straight, destroy target creature without flying. Swing for 16.
You
Oh,
win.
no, it's not 16. It's 14.
14.
Yeah.
I had one more land.
Had nothing but lands, but that was fine because I didn't necessarily want to.
And there was that land.
Yeah, and more land, and oh, okay. And then there's my more day night stuff. Ah, so uh, tireless hauler, that would have been neat. Vigilance and daybound. Uh, so that was our game.
And
I think, believe it or not, I think the decks were reasonably well matched. Uh, I think if you had put that aura on this, that would have been better because then this thing could have, you could have attacked with impunity constantly and brought it back each turn at the end step. I think that would have been a better play.
yeah, I had nothing but lands.
Yeah.
And Village Watch.
Okay. Well, so let's shift to the closer.
Yeah.
And let's. There we go. Nice.
Well, I want to thank you for me being stomped by.
I wasn't stopping you. It was close, believe it or not. See how much life you gained?
Thank you for watching, and make sure you look at the dead text that we showed you. And I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out.